Hey everybody, this is Anjanette from AJ's Personal Touch. Welcome in. And tonight my guest is Spring from Spring the Fiber Enthusiast. Welcome, Spring.
Howdy. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. I almost said something else. I didn't want to say that. Anyway. Thank you for joining me. Oh, it's been a week, let me tell you. And the days just keep coming. Oh,
I
before
hear
we
you.
get started, let's just wait and let some people come in. I didn't even think that when we were figuring out times and stuff that would work, that 8 o'clock on Mondays is bingo with
Robin.
With Robin. Yeah, I always want to call her Rover.
Right.
Yeah. With Robin.
Yeah. Yep. It's
not that I think of her as a rover, but
well,
hi Rachel Starcher. Hello, how are you?
That's welcome, my good friend here locally to me.
Awesome. That is awesome. I have a couple subscribers / friends who are supposed to be coming in, but the one I think is dealing with the news that I just told you. So
okay.
Let me see. Plus, I need to make sure that I've got my live chat on. So let me check that real quick while we're waiting.
All righty.
I always hate that you have to go to the actual video in order to do that.
Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy. That's who I was waiting for, Miss Kathy.
I
thought I had I know. I can go to the link in my group. It's not showing up on my channel, probably since it's my recording. I don't think that's ever happened before, though. This has been a night. Within the last hour, my phone just has keep on going bing, 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 bing. And I'm just like, I have a live. I'm getting ready. Live. I'm getting ready. People I haven't talked to in like months. Hi, how are you doing? I have a live. I'm getting ready.
Usually it's while I'm like live, I'm getting out of the blue random, hey, how you doing? And it's like, I can't talk to you right now. I can't talk to you.
Yeah. And I'm like, I have a live.
I'm getting out of the blue.
There we go. That repeated you because I finally got on here to change this. I told her, I'm like, I have a live on my YouTube channel tonight and I have to hurry up. I have no time to talk right now. So she just keeps going and just sending them ding, 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 and then she's like, well, I hope you're having fun on your YouTube channel. And I'm yeah, just stop the dinging, please.
Exactly.
Oh, so why don't you guys let us know what's in your cup and on your hook. Hi, Kathy. I said it before, but hi, since now I'm seeing your name. And Rachel says, I'm doing just fine at work, running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I know that feeling. Hello, Sabrina. Welcome in. Hey. She says, hello, AJ, Spring, and everyone. It's 1 a.m., so I can't stay long, but I'll be here for a while. Well, thank you for joining us at 1 a.m. your time. And welcome in, Ray. How are you doing tonight?
Ray.
Awesome. This is going to be a fun night. And my phone is still going off. Let me turn this down. The same person.
I can relate. I understand. Hoda Netterbrand Michelle. Hello. Hello, Sabrina.
Thank you, Kathy. Oh, a group that her and I belong to, they're also sending pictures of snow and different things. And she's like, don't forget, Anjanette and Spring are live right now.
I could go for some snow. It needs to come this way.
Who the knitter? Hey, I'm
Brun
Michelle
Michelle.
20, name change, first time making it live. Well, welcome in. Actually, I maybe the first time here. I saw you I think Friday night in Crystal the Yarny Chickens live. So awesome. So the first thing, well, I should start with why we're here is with Spring instead of actually I want to know, has everybody heard the news yet? I just told Spring and she about fell off of her chair, and Kathy told me right before the live started, and I looked and the email came out only 3 hours ago. But Knit Crate has closed. So I am so sad. I got my last one today, actually. I was like, I need to film this. I'll film it tomorrow. I was like, yay, it came a little bit early. And I'm like, whoa, now. No
I
more Knit Crate.
I love their yarn. The dyers, it's not necessarily
Mhm.
their yarn, but I love when I was getting them, I loved it. And it was
Yeah.
my favorite weight.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, yeah, they just stopped everything. The website's down. If you go and try and find the website, it is down. So
Your points
yeah, I
just
guess
keep.
we all lost our points. I had a lot of points.
Wow. There
So
goes
yeah,
my Labrego. Yeah, right.
that was her favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
And why is this still? I thought I
Dinging.
turned it down. I can't turn down, unfortunately, my computer. It's coming
Right.
from my computer too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I am live. I can't talk and I can't have you sending me messages for an hour.
Stop it. Quit.
Actually, I'm gonna mute her. I love that option.
Yeah.
Mute.
Mm-hmm.
There. That's one of them taken care of. Ray, me too. I was saving them up. Yeah, so was I. I would use them every once in a while to get a free crate,
Right.
but Sabrina, Knit Crate closed. Nobody told me I didn't get to use. Yep, I hear you, Sabrina. I had like 2,500 points. So they just sent a letter exactly 3 hours ago. So saying that
Got it.
they wanted to let their members know before they told the public, and what's going to be on their website, they're going to post on it. But right now, if you go, you can't even get on their website.
They might be adjusting their prices to what they have left to get rid of it, and then they'll come back.
They said
Maybe.
that they had to turn everything over to their lender.
Mm. So, okay. Yeah, that they probably filed chapter 31.
Yeah, something. It's like, yeah.
Mm.
So I was
What?
like, wow. Because Kathy told me about it and she was like, I'm trying to get on their site. Did I get hacked? And I was like, I'll look. So, oh, I love my Knit Crate. I'm like, I'm never going to get cheaper yarn, good yarn,
Right.
such good prices.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Something else will have to come around at some point in time. Maybe not right now with inflation and everything, but
Right.
I'll just have to keep trying to do some sample knits for yarn dyers.
There you go.
So, speaking of yarn dyeing, I love the yarn you just dyed the other night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm spinning it actually right now. I'm plying it.
I want to do acid dyes really bad. I have I don't have much base left, and I don't really have the money to buy anymore. I was actually going to go look in dyer supply. Oh, I can't believe they're gone now too. Um, and see if they had any minis because I really want to dye up some minis.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I just use Kool-Aid and that. I have never tried acid dyes yet because I haven't got the face mask and all of that stuff. And
I
that's the biggest one is the face mask because that's the most expensive, I think,
well, you can
out of
use
everything.
an N95. It keeps smaller particles out like that.
So it's just a regular. I thought you had to use the great big mask that
Respirator?
everybody puts
No.
on. Yeah.
No, you don't have to use a respirator. If you're doing massive dyes where you're using a lot of the mica uh,
Hmm.
that you're mixing, then it would behoove you to wear a respirator. But for just a small, I did mine on the stove, on the top of
Uh-huh.
my stove is where I mixed them, and the whole time I had the exhaust fan on.
Oh well,
So
we don't have one of those.
it's it just needs to be ventilated, and not, you're not like sticking your nose right over the top of it.
Right.
I mean, it is small particles and you're not doing it every day all day long. That's not your job. It's an occasional thing. So
Right.
just an N95 would protect you from the small little particles from that one
Yeah.
one
Well,
little.
that's good to know. Maybe I think I have like one left, so maybe I will go and look at getting some from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm trying. I'm just gonna have to call you who's the knitter. I know you, Brett, right?
Bren Michelle.
Brett Michelle. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
not good with names. So for those of you who are actually on my channel for the first time, welcome and thank you so much. And I forgot to say welcome back to my subscribers too. Um, but I am not good with names. That is one thing that I'm terrible with. So I will call you by um, your name that I see in front of me until I get it in my brain. So, and there's some people, the only reason why I know who they are is because they come to my live chats. And that's how I met
Yeah.
Spring for the first time. I mean, I'd seen like maybe one or two of your videos,
Right.
but I do chats from Facebook where we just all get together and sit and crochet, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, and Spring came in one day, and we're all like, "Wow, it's Spring!"
And I'm like, hi.
Hi, it's just
What we
me.
working on tonight?
Oh, and she really, she makes us laugh a lot. So I think, but everybody in there is pretty funny. So
Yes, yes. Kathy's pretty funny too.
yes, yes.
Oh goodness.
As she told me, oh, I can't think of. Never mind. My brain just lost it. You have to forgive me. I have been dealing with a lot of pain this last week, and my brain just is not completely with it yet. At least my headaches, my migraines have gone, but I've got a flare up of my chronic pancreatitis going. So,
Ow, that's painful.
yeah. And I just found out that I have neuropathy and I have a small tear in my meniscus in my right knee. So,
Mm,
it's just a real fun time right now.
seriously. Right. And the weather isn't helping.
No, no.
I wish
So,
it'd just snow and get it over with so that way we can get out of the mud.
we had snow here, had
Oh,
it, and then it's gone. We've got mud now too. So,
hate it when it's muddy.
Sabrina says, I just read the email from Nick Crate. Really sad. Yeah.
You're welcome, Kathy.
Oh, but she said I still can't think of the word for it. I just asked her over and over again if she would come into the chat, because we were communicating via email, and she was like, "Well, no, and I don't really like doing that." And she was like,
Yeah.
"Finally, to get you off my back." And then she's like, "But I enjoyed it." Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I nagged. That's it. I nagged her.
You nagged.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't nag my husband, but I guess I nagged her.
uh, she's a second husband.
She is a very dear friend, so
2 or 3 inches the other day, but it's all gone now.
she had
I,
some gorgeous, gorgeous pictures from it too.
I just want the ground to freeze. I just want the ground to freeze, really. I mean, like, seriously.
Well,
Mm.
somebody in our group chat just posted pictures of snow, but I don't know who it was. That's what was making the dinging a couple minutes ago. So,
Mm.
but yeah, I didn't take the time to to read it, of course, because we're in here. Um, Usually the first thing that I ask, although I started with Knit Crate tonight, but um, when I have somebody new, especially on, is when did you start your channel, Spring, and why did you start it?
I started it June 26th of last year. Yeah, last year. I just celebrated a 1 year this past June.
Okay.
So, yeah. Coming up on 2 years soon. Basically, Katrina Knits, Katrina Creations. I love her channel, and she does slideshows on Saturdays of people's work. And I always was contributing, I made this and put it in there, made this, put it in there. And she kept telling me on Facebook, you need to start a channel. You need to start a channel. You need to start a channel. And finally, just one day randomly, I sat back here and did my first video. And then I sent her the link to it, and I sent my husband the link. And both of them were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did it. It was just random, and it's been ever since. And I pretty much set myself a personal goal as to what I was going to do, and I've stuck with it since.
Awesome. Welcome in, Terry. Nana's Crochet Ideas. That's Terry. Hello.
Hi,
I'm glad you
Terry.
could make it. Kathy says your room is terrific. So many great people. Thank you, Kathy. And I agree.
Yes, I agree too.
And everybody else said hi. So, um, yeah, it's amazing to me because actually you started just a couple weeks, I think, after I did then.
Really?
Yeah, because I think May, because I kept thinking it was June
Mm-hmm.
was my anniversary date, and I was getting ready to say that, and one of my I can't remember if it was a live or if it was a taping, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and check the date for sure. And I went back and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Like, my anniversary's this week, not in a couple weeks. So it was
Right,
like,
right.
oh my, it was like, oh, that time went by so quickly.
Yeah, it did for
So
me too. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's amazing how fast it goes. I personally want to ask because I would love to do them, but I don't have this set up yet. I'm hoping to. We're going to rearrange our back room so that I have an actual craft room and
Mm-hmm.
area to put everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to do tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
How hard are tutorials?
It's time consuming. It's very, very time consuming. Very depending on the size. Like today's, this, even though it's something so small, so minute, you
Hmm.
try so hard to just through it, so it's not going to be a problem. You don't have to edit, you just put it up. and I still ended up having to cut, and because I misspoke and things like that. And it's very, very time consuming. And until I learned to just put it on airplane mode, it used to drive me crazy with all the notifications popping up while I'm trying to record.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it being ADHD, it took a lot of concentration. It's like, focus. Oh my gosh. And a lot of times, some of my better tutorials is because I'm doing them in the middle of the night when
Uh-huh.
the world is quiet. Everybody but
Except for
me.
my world. Yeah.
And that's usually when I'm doing things, is in the middle of the night where my brain is quiet, everybody else is quiet, and I can kind of really focus.
Uh-huh.
But tutorials, it's time consuming, very
Right.
time consuming.
Well, I know, I usually start my chats when I have opened my room at, like 10 o'clock.
Mm,
So,
yeah,
I'm up late too. And
right.
it's funny because you would come in and you're like, okay, I'm gonna sit here for a couple minutes and I'm gonna go do a tutorial. It's like,
Yeah. Yep.
okay. Yeah, I guess I wasn't even thinking I'd have to have a whole new setup because like now I tape from my laptop because I found it's easier for me.
Right.
Um, One thing I don't understand about my phone, and I have an iPhone, is that when you're taping a video, and maybe it's because I still have an older one, but when you're taping a video, you can't pause it. It's like,
No. You have to
and I
stop.
hate that. It's like, I just
Yep.
want to, I only need to pause you for a second.
Right.
So it's
Yep.
easier on here because I can pause it. I can get up and do whatever I want to do. And as long as, for whatever reason, the computer hasn't gone down.
Right.
Now, if I minimize it though, boom, it automatically shuts it down. And I've learned that. Or if my
Yeah.
cat decides she wants to walk all over the keyboard, she shut it down on me a couple
Yeah.
times.
The the
But
biggest thing is making sure you have plenty of lighting, you're overhead, and you speak clear.
okay.
That's like the main focus of videos, that you want to be able to see, what you're looking at. You want to see.
Right.
So it's got to be well lit, and that you speak clear. So even if you have an accent, people can pick up on what you're saying. They're not like, "What was that? She say y'all?"
I don't have an accent, so
I don't either. I didn't think, and then I'm like being told you have an accent, and I'm like, okay, if you say so.
well, we all have an accent, so
Yeah.
honestly, it's just somebody else. And by the way, if you hear the laughter in the background, my husband's here tonight. I know he didn't used to always be here, but he's not watching. He's actually behind the computer. He's just listening. So, spring wave tie to you.
Yeah. Howdy,
But
howdy.
what, Bob? He said hi.
Thank you, Kathy.
He's he's the one who usually sits and throws out his little one-liners and stuff when we're all chatting in the room too. It's
Yep.
great. Kathy says you did great tutorials, Spring. Yeah, so easy to understand. I'm learning that because I actually had on your knitting one earlier. I don't know how to knit yet, but one of these
Oh,
days.
I got beginner knitting, basic
I've
series.
got knitting needles that my friend gave me, which I thought she might be in here, and she's not
Awesome.
here yet. So,
Hmm.
Donna, I think you meant
Mm-hmm.
Donna. Donna sent me knitting needles.
Aw,
She
Donna's
actually
cute.
sent me a whole circular set too. I about
Wow.
cried. I
Those
was
are
like,
the best.
wow. Yeah.
Circulars are the best. That's awesome.
So it's an older set, but I'm like, I don't care. I can learn on
Right.
whatever,
Yeah, exactly. Knitting
find what
is,
I like later. They look like a nice set too. So I know they're not chai goo or anything, but no biggie.
it it doesn't matter. If you're working on something, it doesn't matter. It's whatever works for you. I mean, the name, I have a tendency to get annoyed because it's like, no, if I grab whatever Joe Schmo knitting needles up there and that's what's working for me, that's what I use.
Mhm.
And it doesn't make a difference to me what the name brand is, as long
Right.
as it's working with the project and me.
Exactly. Exactly. So, something just popped into my head, and I'm gonna see if I can remember what it was because it's now popping back out. Um,
Which knitted hat, Ray? The last one, the one that came out today?
oh, I know what I wanted to ask. Did you design before you started your channel, or is that something you picked up?
No, I've never I didn't read patterns until um probably about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, roughly. I didn't read patterns at all. I just created. I knew my stitches and did whatever. Um, the pattern designing and following patterns came from testing doily patterns for a woman in Australia. And she's a fantastic designer. And that's how I learned to read patterns, was pattern
Awesome.
testing for her. And then it was like, okay, I still don't write patterns, but I design. I've
I
always
get you.
done my own thing.
Hence why you do tutorials. So,
Yes,
welcome in, Amelia. It's good to see you.
the basic one. Okay, Ray. I seen your message, Ray, and I am so sorry I did not get back to you at that moment.
So, what's your favorite kind of segment that you do?
Mm, I enjoy teaching, and I enjoy the tutorials. I hate recording them because that means I have to edit them, which means
Right.
I have to listen.
Yeah.
And I just
I
want to do.
I understand that because I do not edit my videos. I just put them out like they are. But again, I'm not doing tutorials right now. But the
Right.
one thing I do not like is to go and listen to them if I need to, because I mean, I don't know. I think almost everybody that I've ever known has had this issue. They don't like listening to themselves talk, because it doesn't sound like you. It doesn't sound like what we're used to hearing in our head when we're
Right.
talking,
Right.
when we hear it back to us. Welcome in, Lulu. It's good seeing you. Was surfing and saw you on live. Wanted to come on and say hello and wish you a great night tonight. Oh, thank you so much, Lulu. You're so sweet.
She is.
Spring, great to see you on here too tonight.
She's got a really cool video out right now.
Oh, she
She
does. I'm
does.
gonna have to go and see it. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only that's the only sad part to me about being a creator now is I don't have the time to go and watch everybody like I used
Oh,
to.
yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Welcome in, Mob's Yarnery and Cooking.
Ashley.
It is so great to see all these new people. I'm not used to my chat moving so quickly. This is like cool. And I'm glad my Nightbot's working. I was like, oh, please let that be working.
Oh, gosh. Nightbot.
You don't like your Nightbot?
Well, like Ray and I love emojis, and she gets in trouble in my live from Nightbot because she'll do too many emojis, and Nightbot yells at her and other people because they get excited and they do all caps, and it's like Nightbot's very not nice to them sometimes, and I get mad. Leave my friends alone.
Have you not learned how? I can teach you how to change Nightbot so it doesn't do that.
I I can change it and I know how, but I try not to because of those trolls that like to come in.
Yeah, yeah, I get that, but I put mine up a little bit. I mean, enough that I know that my friends and stuff when they come and they can put, whatever
Whatever.
they want to. Yeah.
I like to keep the people in the chat as safe as possible in the live. And I'm like, so that's what Ray does. She's like, emojis. She writes it out. Yeah, she's
That is
been
so
locked out.
cute.
She's funny. She's been locked out before.
Yeah, I think I've actually been in a live where she was locked out before.
It's funny. We all try to have a good time, and I've been in trouble too. I think once recently I was in trouble and was told that I was going to be timed out by Nightbot for doing too many emojis in somebody's chat. And I'm like, listen here.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think where Nightbot has it set is just a little too low, so I had to move mine up just
Oh
so.
yeah.
But wonderful interview. I'll have to watch the rest in replay though. I need to get a few hours of sleep. Have a great night, AJ, Spring, and everyone. Well, thank you again, Sabrina, for
Yeah.
coming on in, and have a great sweet dreams.
Good night, Sabrina. Me too, right? Oh my gosh.
So, do you have a set day that you do lives on?
Yes, everything that I do on YouTube is an
Scheduled?
itinerary. Yes, I go live every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if it's a holiday on that Thursday, I generally won't. But yeah, I've got to be like really not feeling well to not go live on I go once a week at the same time, and that's it.
Cool. Yeah, unfortunately right now I don't have mine scheduled like that. I would like to, but my body doesn't like to have a schedule like that. So, I mean, if I schedule it, I try to always be there. I actually feel bad because I had one that I completely and totally forgot,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I had a migraine that day and I completely forgot the live. And at the time I was supposed to be in the live, I was on taping something I was supposed to tape during the day because I
Mm-hmm.
was finally feeling better, but I didn't connect with you're not supposed to be taping. You're supposed to be on
Right.
your channel doing a live. And I felt terrible and I apologize up and down. I was just like, oh my goodness. So I take more precautions now and I have more alarms set and everything to remind me when I have them set up because I stopped doing them after that for a
Yeah.
while because I was having too many issues with myself. And
Mm.
then I'm like, what's going on with my channel? It's like I seem not to see anybody anymore. And I just seem to be,
Right. Right.
ho hum. So I was like, it's time to get them going again. And so I started a couple weeks ago. And then I was like, okay, I got to ask Spring. I had been dying to have you on before. So I am so glad you said yes.
Yeah. I'm glad that it worked out. I do so much better when I have a schedule, and
Right.
it's nothing like sprung on me type thing. So being able to look ahead and actually figure things out, it definitely works out best for me.
Yeah, and I think one of the nice things for me from my not having one is that when I do ask somebody to come on, I can give them time to look and then I can, also
Right.
work with whatever day of the week works for them,
Mm-hmm.
as long as it works for me at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, the only night I can't do is every other Wednesday, but this month it didn't matter because the group chat that I normally do on live on every other Wednesdays, the AKA crafting talk, we took December off. We're like,
Okay.
there's just too much going on with family, and um, Kaylin has her son and stuff, and he'd be
Right.
getting out of school, so
Right.
yeah. And Ambi's in school, so she's got tests and everything this
Ooh.
month. So I know it's kind of nice not to have to deal with those again.
Oh no. That makes my head hurt thinking about school.
Oh We don't want to do that.
No.
So then, speaking of your schedule, how many segments do you have, like different things that you do on your channel?
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are all tutorial based, whether they're my own patterns or stitch tutorials or like crochet alongs, knit alongs, tat
Okay.
alongs, things like that. Um, that's on the first 3 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I have my live on Thursday, and then Saturday is the weekly What has Spring Been Up to this week podcast.
Cool. That sounds cool. I know, I used to watch you like on a regular basis, and like I said, I've just gotten to where I am so behind on everybody. I had
I hear
somebody
ya.
ask me the other day, "Oh, have you been caught up on, did you see Bob did this?" And I'm like, "No, I have no idea. Haven't seen her for weeks. Sorry."
It is hard, and here on the farm at different times, you're prepping for winter or you're prepping the ground for summer, and there's different things going on the farm, um, that can take away any extra. Or if you're in the middle of winter, you might have a little extra time to sit and chit chat and watch lives. But as soon as
Right.
spring starts coming, it's like, all right, get out the way. Got things to do.
Got things to do, places to be, animals to take care of.
Absolutely.
So, on your lives, for everybody who may not know, who haven't watched it, you spin while you're on your
Mhm.
lives, don't you?
Yes. I
Right.
spin yarn and we sit around and chit chat.
Yeah. I have got to make one. I have not been able to yet, and I'm like, that's on my list. If I wanna watch you spin. I've never really sat and watched anybody spin yarn. So
I spin on my electric spinning wheel, and I'll do it on a drop spindle and on my manual spinning wheels, my larger spinning wheels.
Ray says it gives me anxiety to see all the blue dots next to all the channels.
Oh, right.
I don't pay attention to them myself.
It's kind of like the red notifications on my phone. I'm like, make it go away. Make it go away. But yet
Yeah.
I'll have 5,000 emails in one of my email accounts, and it doesn't even faze me.
Right, right. Well, that's on my phone. Anytime I put a new app and it asks, "Do you want notifications?" No. And then I
Right,
go in and personally set them myself. I'm
right,
like, I
right,
let them come up so I can see that something's coming up from them. But
right.
there's only like 3 or 4 that I let have that number notification up there. All
Mm-hmm.
the rest, I'm like, nope, because I can't handle it either. My brain just goes boom, boom. I want to go and open
Right.
everything. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. So.
Yeah, I don't like when there's all those notifications coming through. It's like, oh my gosh, can't do it.
Yeah. And then it's like, you don't really need to look at like 3/4 of them anyway. So
Right, right,
I'm like, who
exactly.
needs it? Who needs a notification from Joann's? I mean, really, you're gonna get it in your text box anyway.
Yep,
So them and everybody else, as soon as they get your phone
yep,
number, it's like you get your texts, you
yep.
get, whatever. So I'm like, I don't need a notification from the app,
I
so
get Joann's, Michael's, and Harbor Freight like every day, three
yep,
times a day, it seems like.
like clockwork.
I get rid of one and here comes Harbor Freight. Get rid of it and here comes another. Get rid of it and it's like, stop it.
Yep. And for me, but besides those, I have like 2 or 3, from medical doctors or
Right, right.
whatever.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like I have 2 on here right now. So
Ugh.
pinch me and oh, my daughter's one of them. So that's a good one. That's one I like to see.
Yeah.
So the other one is I can't think of the name of them right now. I always want to call them Good News, but that is not their name. Oh, the crochet company that has they the women in Africa and
Darn good yarns.
darn good yarn. Darn good yarn. I get like 4 or 5 or I don't know. It's like they just keep coming and coming and coming. Someday, I think one day I had almost 10 different notifications from them. And I was like, just stop. Stop texting me. Stop.
No, thank you.
But it's like 8 o'clock in the morning every day. Boom, there's a darn good yarns text. It's like,
Right.
and then I think noon, there's another one. I'm like,
Right. Right.
I don't need that many texts in a day.
I hear you. Let me shut my craft room door because the husband's getting ready to walk in the front door and the dogs are going to bark.
Okay. Yeah, mine just walked out the door. That's why you heard the little
Yeah.
chiming thing. That's our ring on the front door.
I'm like, I can hear them. They're like, they hear it's a half a mile out the driveway, but they can hear him.
Yep. The cats here can too. And if they hear when he's been gone, if they hear my phone start to chime, they go and sit by the door if it's like dark out because they know that it's him coming home.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's during the day, it doesn't phase them. But if it's at night, they're like right there. It's like, that's dad. That's dad.
Right.
So,
Mm.
so is there anything that you don't do that you want to do on your channel?
No, there's some things that I don't do that I might include occasionally, like maybe once a month throw in like cross stitch something. I don't cross stitch. I find it very boring.
Okay.
I've watched, my mom and my mother-in-law and other people cross stitch and sit at a doctor's office and watch them do it. And me personally, I don't get any joy out of it. So I'm like, this is boring. So it wouldn't be something that would be like real big,
Uh-huh.
but maybe a little something.
I can see that. I used to love to cross stitch all the time.
Really?
And I know that if I would pick it back up, then my crochet would be like set aside for a while
Yeah.
because I would go down that hole again and just be okay, what can I do? I think for me it was the joy of seeing the picture form, whatever it was that I was doing. So I
Drawing,
didn't do the stamp stuff. So
drawing and painting would be more my go-to for that.
uh-huh.
Or locking filet crochet, think mosaic knitting, something like that. The cross stitch just never has interest me. It's like, okay.
Well, everybody has their own,
No.
thing. That's just I do plastic canvas. I used to
Yeah,
do that
I
all the
do
time
that.
too.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was always fun.
That's when I learned how to do cross stitch and
Ray.
no tiny needles for me. Yeah, that's when I learned how to cross stitch and do needlepoint.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't realize how it'd be so different. I got a project to do. My cousin was getting married, and I made a needlepoint picture frame for them for a wedding gift, and
Mm-hmm.
it was done on canvas. And I was like, not plastic, but regular canvas. And I was like, wow, I can't do this. So I took it into my teacher, the one who taught me how to for 4-H, to work on plastic canvas. And she's like, no, you can just I'll show you, how to get started. And it turned out beautiful.
I haven't done plastic canvas in forever.
Yeah, I even asked my husband if he wanted me to get some out because what I loved about plastic canvas and when I got older and then when him and I were first together is, well, like now we really couldn't afford much for Christmas.
Right.
And we sat down and made tissue covers for everybody. I sat down to start him and I was getting stressed that I was never going to get them all
All
done.
done.
And he was like, well, I've been watching you. Can you teach me how to do that? I can probably help you do that, you know?
There
And it
you
was
go.
really nice because we
Yeah,
both sat down together and did it. Well, he's not
right.
really interested, you know, in,
But he was
you
willing
know,
to help.
right. He was
Yeah.
really, I mean, now he was interested in it then. But, and I keep on going, oh, come on, you know, let's try this again.
Good night,
Night,
Ray.
Ray.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming.
I wish you luck getting them into bed. um, so yeah, I kind of miss that. But now that I'm doing my stitch markers, he goes with me to the stores and he looks through the beads and it's really cool because he'll find some, what about you think of this? What do you think of that? You know, so
Right. Right.
it's really cool to see his creative side coming out again. You know, and
Yeah.
when you're with somebody for so long and you don't see them have an actual, you know, creative side, it's really cool to watch them develop it.
Yes.
And I think that's one thing I love about my channel too is when somebody comes in and they may not know much about crochet or whatever, and then they ask a lot of questions and
Right.
can you help me with this? The only
Right.
thing with mine is they think that I may be a tutorial channel, and I'm just not that,
Right.
at least right now.
Right.
Maybe in the future, but I don't know if I'll ever be, honestly, because
Mm-hmm.
then I got to learn the whole editing and this and that. There's just so
Time
much more to it.
consuming.
Get the right camera and be able to have it placed in the right, you know, spot to,
I do it all on my phone.
yeah. Well, I know a lot of people do it on their phone,
Mhm.
but it's like being able to have the right arm or whatever to have it up so that it's looking down and,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep.
you know, from everything I've heard, it's pretty rough. So that's why I
It,
always like to ask.
it's time consuming, no doubt.
Cool. So do you dye a lot of yarn now or just here and there? Or?
Just here and there. I'm not like a yarn dyer or anything. Usually if I make something, it's a one of a kind or a two of a kind. And that's it. It's like, here it is. If you want it, great. If not, that's fine. It's just one of them, I don't, I dye a lot of stuff for myself.
Yeah.
But as far as just like, okay, spin this yarn, dye it, and then have it for sale, that's not a standard practice for me.
Right. Right. I saw the sweater that you made um 2 years ago, I think it was. Yes. And I have to say that yarn is gorgeous.
Thank you.
And you said you dyed all of that, right?
Hmm. Yep.
It is simply gorgeous. I saw that sweater and I completely fell in love with it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's striped. I'm using three different hanks dyed three different ways, and then I striped it for the top part, and then went into the darker color at the bottom.
Yeah, it's just simply, it's stunning.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I
It's one
hope
of
you
my
get it to
favorite.
you where that you can wear it and it doesn't, it's not too tight on the bottom now.
Yeah, it's good now. I just need to finish it and get the cable back in it. Now that I've tried it on and I'm comfortable with the way it is, I've got to get the cable back in it and finish it.
Cool. Excuse me.
Uh-oh.
It's not you. It's me.
Sure. No,
I didn't get much sleep last night, so
neither did I.
I've been running on my coffee fumes today.
Mm.
But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I had asked people if they had questions, but nobody gave me any. So if anybody in the chat has a question you want to ask Spring, feel free to go ahead and post it in the comments.
I just finished this hat,
Oh, that is cool.
and It goes like that.
I
Or
love that.
for the Naughty Elves on Friday, the live that I have going Friday for, it's the Naughty Elves live. And we have some giveaways and stuff going on during that live. It'll be a 2-hour live.
Is that on your channel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it starts off the first hour Friday from 7 to 8 Eastern time. Um, the first hour will be myself, and then the second hour will be Queen's Crafts Bridget, Ray, who was just in the chat, Liz, uh, Liz Crochet and more, and then Bailey Nectar Cat on the Prowl, my usual co-host, and myself. So there'll be 5 of us hanging out up on the panel Friday about 8 o'clock. But from 7 to 8 will be giveaways.
Cool. I'll have to try to remember that.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm gonna have to
lots of
write
fun.
that. I don't have a pen with me right now. All right, write it down.
You'd like to
Um,
learn?
you know, Kathy, one of the things I would like to do is to actually do a tutorial on how to dye for those people who only like me who would use Kool-Aid
Mm-hmm.
or goodness, dyes.
Cake.
Cake from cake decorating or
Yeah.
food dyes. There we go. Food safe dyes.
You can also
Um,
use RIT. RIT, whatever.
yeah, I've never used RIT. I do want to use some tie dye because I have some cotton that I want to dye.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do that. Uh, hi, Donna. Welcome in. I don't know if you've been lurking or if you just came in. Um, Donna wants to know, Spring, what's the hardest craft you've ever challenged?
Probably getting past the beginning of the learning stages to knit. That was probably one of the most complicated things that I had to get my brain to function and realize that a purl stitch is just a reverse knit. Quit overthinking it. That's mainly what it was. That was one of the hardest things for me to comprehend, was the difference between a knit and a purl and why. So that was probably the top, but now I'm okay with it. But thankfully I got past that. That drove me crazy for a long time.
I know in Tunisian, it took me a little bit, but now that I know how to do it, I love to do the purl stitch.
I learned to do Tunisian, kind of like loom knitting. I
Mm-hmm.
learned to do the loom knitting. I learned Tunisian. And once I finally learned to knit and it stuck, I don't really care for, I don't think I've touched a loom since for
Mm-hmm.
loom knitting.
I have a loom. I haven't learned how to use it.
I have several of them, plastic, different shapes and size
Mhm.
looms. I have the X loom and all of that. The only loom I touch is that one.
That's a gorgeous loom.
That's the only loom that I touch now. I don't deal with the plastic ones or
Yeah.
anything.
I won mine from Lion Brand last year during
Oh,
Hat Not
cool.
Hate.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I got the kit that they give the kids in the schools
Nice.
so that
Very
they can knit a hat.
good.
Yeah, Kathy, if I can ever get enough lighting in my kitchen, I would love to show you guys how to dye. Um, I know the couple times that I've dyed yarn, I took pictures along the way, and then I posted all of those because I think every time was before my channel started.
You
So
can save those pictures and turn them into a video clip and add music to it.
I have not learned all that stuff. So I've put pictures at the end of my video,
Mm-hmm.
but I cannot learn how to shorten them. It wants to give a minute to each one.
Mm-hmm.
There was one time I was able to shorten them, and I tried to do it the next time, and I could not do it for the life of me. So I'm like, I'm still playing with it. I'm still trying to figure all of that out. I've never added music because I don't have a program that I actually pay for so that I get the music and stuff that goes along with it.
CapCut is what I use. It's free. It's an app on my phone, and I can do quite a bit with it. Quite a bit.
Okay. CapCut.
Yeah.
I need to find something to write with now.
Yep. CAP. I can type it in the chat if you want.
I got it. A pencil.
Okay.
I can write on that. I don't need that. I have a pattern sitting here in my lap. So, and let me see. Friday night. Starting at 7.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Kathy.
Channel. Right now, all I've done, dyeing wise, I've done tonals.
Oh, okay.
I want to, I got the bug to want to do it by watching, Chemnitz, which I was
Yeah.
actually going to ask you who, not who, but why did you decide to start dyeing yarn, or who did you learn from?
I don't know any specific, because it was like when I do homework of, it's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I'll watch that, I'll watch that, I'll watch that, I'll watch that, I'll watch that. And it's a mix of everybody type thing a lot of
Right,
time.
right.
I can't say just one particular person. Chemnitz is one that I did watch. Learning and understanding uh, the food coloring. That was,
Uh-huh.
what I was after. But being an art person and making handmade soap and lotion and all of that, I was very familiar with using the scale and weights and eyedroppers and, being very involved in stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a natural. It's like, okay, this is what we got to do. We got to measure, 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 measure. And
Right.
it was just what do I need to do to get this to stick to that? That's where
You
I
know,
was at.
I guess I kind of get that, and I think maybe that's one reason why I was tuned into Chemnitz, because I went to school for pharmacy
Hmm.
for a couple of years, so I did the organic chemistry and stuff. So I
Right.
did all of the weights and the measurements, and and all of that stuff
Right.
too. So when she talks about it all, I get
You
it,
understand. Yeah, you
because
understand.
she's talking from the chemistry end of things,
Right.
and
Right.
not just do this, this, and this, and not explaining why, it works. She
Hmm.
explains why it bonds, why it doesn't bond,
Right.
all of the
Why
things.
does it break?
Right. When she did her video on breaking violet, I was like, "Ooh, I gotta do that. I gotta break it too." And where most people would say, "Ooh, I don't want my yarn to break," I was like, "Ooh, I want it. I want to see that."
Right. Right. Yeah, and knowing what's going to strike first and why, like that particular yarn that I spun and dyed recently with the acid dye, was more than just me working with the acid dye for the first time. It was the fact that that's an acrylic polyamide and 15% wool. The
Hmm.
mass amount of it is fiber that does not like to take color.
Right.
So yeah, that's what my goal was, to get more than just the color pink to stick.
Yeah, I know when I saw it when it was finished, I was like, "Wow." Because I know how hard of an undertaking that was. Now, I know there's somebody who dyes acrylic all the time and she
Hmm.
sells it, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Wow,
Yeah, she
how do
does.
you do that?"
She does. She does it all the time. I've tried the RIT synthetics. I've tried all kinds of things, and it seems like I always get the washout to pink. Always. And I'm not a pink fan. So it's like, no more. Please don't turn pink.
Welcome in, Keith's Crochet and More. I hope you're having a good night.
Howdy, howdy.
Oh, goodness. Um, yeah, I just love dyeing. I want to say like maybe 4 or 5 hinks more that I've gotten there.
Yeah.
I caught the bug and they happened to have a good sale right
Hmm.
when I caught it. So I bought like a couple bags from Dyer Supplier. So
Right, right.
yeah, I'm gonna have to find somewhere else. Um, I still can't get that out of. I'm just like, ah.
Yeah,
For
I know.
those of you in here who did not hear when I first came on, Knit Crate has closed. So they sent out an email 3 hours ago saying that they closed. So,
Crazy.
and that December's Knit Crate was the last one, and mine came today. Like I said, I almost thought of taping earlier. Then I thought, no, knew I was doing this tonight. I wanted to save my energy since I knew I was kind of tired. I was like, oh,
Right.
there's no way I can get through both. So
Right.
I saved it for tomorrow or whenever I get to it.
Yeah. I have happy mail. That's something I do occasionally is I'll do shout outs, an occasional random video of shout outs, or like your stitch markers.
Uh huh.
I'll do an extra or a happy mail video or I got this and it's like the dyeing of yarn. That was an extra. Um,
Uh-huh.
I do those occasionally, but I don't make myself go, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I get that. And I appreciate you showing my stitch markers too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're
So
beautiful. They're with
thank
my,
you.
my whole rack of them.
Now if I could just get people to come in. The thing that I need to work on is after Christmas I want to get a website up and going so that people can actually find my shop and be able to shop
Yeah.
easier, because there's a lot of people who aren't on Facebook, and that's one
Right.
reason why, they don't go and
Right.
see them.
Right.
So I post them on the community tab now that they
Hmm.
randomly open community tabs for a lot of us.
Right.
But I don't think people are actually, still looking, even though they're like, well, post them there or post them on a video. And like I
Mm.
said, I can't get my pictures to go down less than a minute right now. So I don't want to post them all in a video. Then I thought, well, maybe I can figure out how to make a video of them before adding it on.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just don't have time to sit and do all of that right now.
Right.
And like right now, this is all I have done out of how many am I making? 4 times 16, out of 56 squares. So I've got a lot to go. And I need to have it done for Christmas. So
Oh, goodness.
yeah, I can do
I,
it. I keep telling myself, I can do it. I can
I
do
can
it. I can do it.
understand.
So, but
I
there's one square
absolutely.
that is just very stubborn. And I finished the third one today. So I need to get the fourth one done. And then I'm not going to look at that square again until I have to put it together. So, and then they did say, oh, weave in your ends and then, block them. And I was blocking them and everything and weaving in my ends. And I thought, why am I weaving in my ends if I'm going to be crocheting them together and I can just hide it while
Hmm.
when I crochet it. So I'm like, I'm not weaving those in anymore.
Right. Just crochet over it. It's good.
Yeah. Kathy, I ordered a few things from Member Central and thank goodness it was shipped last week. How sad. Last Knit Crate. Yes. Yes, it is so sad. When you sent me that right before we came on, I was like, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I would have been freaking out.
And then I told Spring right before we came on, and she was like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And I went to the website just like you said, Kathy, and it's not working. So
It's kind of like I want to go and reach over there and grab some knit crate and just, hold it and pet it because it'll probably be the last I see of that kind of yarn ever.
yeah, and that's sad because they have some amazing yarn.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Especially sock yarn.
Well, see, and I just got my first sock yarn from them
Oh,
because I wanted to make a pair of socks with regular sock yarn.
mm-hmm.
And I was like, cool, I'll just start getting it from them. And I had even asked them how to become
A
an
sock yarn.
associate.
Right.
And because I'm like, I've been talking you guys up all through the pandemic and everything, telling people stick with them. Their customer
Right.
service is, great. They were behind
Right.
for a while, but once, they can talk to you, they're fantastic. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like, they said, well, right now we're not, doing anymore, but as soon as we open it back up, we'll let you know. And then bam, we're gone. See ya. I was like, ugh.
That is so strange to me because they've been, a company for a very long time. But from what you're saying, it almost sounds like they filed to, yeah, the
Yeah,
bankruptcy.
they probably had to because from the email it said that their debts were too much
Mm-hmm.
than what they were bringing in. So
That's what
basically,
it sounded like. I mean, I don't know for sure, but that's just what it sounds like, and that's sad.
that's very sad because they, like I said, I thought they were a great company. I mean,
They
I
can
know
come
there are
back with a
people.
different name, though.
That's what my husband said. He said, "Watch him come back with a different name." I'm like,
They
I
will.
would love that.
They will.
So
There was one of the other companies did it. What it was it? Hobby. I think they wasn't it them that shut down. One of them shut down, just like done, and then a few weeks later, not a few weeks, but a little while later, they came back.
but we'll have to look for that and hope it happens. Kathy's AJ has gorgeous stitch markers. Everyone should check out her stitch marker group. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy is one of my biggest fans,
She's
along
so
with
sweet.
Donna
Yep.
and Terry.
Yep.
But Kathy will go down the rabbit hole with me when I'm going to look for charms. She'll be like, no, no, I don't think not that one. Okay, yeah, that one. That one looks good. So she helps me out with that.
Cool. I have a bunch of charms too that from making tatted jewelry from
Okay.
needle tatting, and I make tatted jewelry, so I have a lot of beads and charms from that.
Yeah, and I'm always looking for a good deal.
Mm-hmm. The orange stickers at Hobby Lobby.
I look at the orange stickers at Hobby Lobby.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Donna says, big fan. Thank you,
Yeah.
Donna.
Yeah.
Actually, I made special stitch markers for everybody who comes and chats
Mm-hmm.
um, in the group when it was just Terry and Donna and Kathy and Kaylin and Amby. And
Mm-hmm.
I found their initials
Nice. Very
in the
nice.
nice little
Yeah.
orange stickered area of Hobby Lobby.
Absolutely.
And they were nice ones. I mean, they're what I would have loved to have bought,
Mm-hmm.
if they hadn't have been stickered. But yep.
Yeah.
And
I
my
always
husband helps me. He'll go through and he'll look to see what he can find when I'm looking for my findings. He'll
Mm-hmm.
go through and look at through everything else, and he'll be, "Have you seen this?" Oh, sorry. Yes, and Nadine. I don't. I can't believe I forgot Nadine. Thank you, Donna. Yes, yes. Can't forget Nadine. I think because Nadine and I have been sending each other stuff for so long,
Yeah.
I think of her. I just don't always say it. So, hello, Jet. Welcome in.
Jetting one in. Howdy, howdy. Good to see you.
So,
Oh.
okay. Well, we are, oh, wow. Time flies. We are over an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So, we should probably start shutting it down. Does anybody else have a question for either Spring or myself that we can answer here real quick for you? And besides Friday, is there anything else that you have coming up special here?
I'm it's not in here, but I probably have a crochet along getting ready to start. Not getting ready to start. I'm getting ready to start filming it. Because I pre-film and it comes out as a tutorial
Mm-hmm.
throughout the month. But I'm pretty sure that the next big thing is going to be a crochet along.
Okay, cool. Any hints, a garment or?
It's in a couple Saturdays ago. It's a poncho that's shorter on the front and long in the back. It was pink,
Ooh.
but kind of like, you remember how the round vest used to be?
Uh-huh.
Kind of like that, just poncho style, not a vest.
Cool. That
And
sounds kind of cool.
it's short in the front and long in the back. I have adjustments that I need to do to it, which I state in that podcast, Saturday podcast, where you see it next to me. I mention the parts that I need to change when I'm recording. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm thinking that's going to be my next crochet along. And then I have the last crochet along I did was Turbulent Skies Shawlette. And I've been asked to, if I would make the same pattern bigger. So those are two of the bigger things that's going to be coming up in the new year.
Awesome. Um, I know I saw the last shawl that you did, or was that the shawlette that you're talking
The
about? It was
Shawlette.
gorgeous. It
Thank
was
you.
simply gorgeous because Robin was making it, and so
Mhm.
I was seeing it as she was making it, and then I kept going in and peeking at your channel to see how it was going.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish I would have been able to do it at the time, but that's when I was working on the sample crochet that I was doing.
Yes. Yes. You had
So,
a lot going on.
Sanita makes crochet items. Hi, Sanita.
Hey,
I was
Sunita.
watching on the TV. Hi. Hi. I'm so glad that you are watching. It's good to see you.
Hello. Hello.
But yeah, I love that shawlette. It was so gorgeous.
Thank you. That was one that I just made. And another part of the reason why I started a channel, because I shared that on Katrina's slideshow, and um, I was asked to write a pattern for it. And I tried.
Wow.
I tried and tried and tried. And finally, a couple of years later or whatever, I'm just like, I'll do a YouTube channel. And then it took me a while to get confident in and feel comfortable recording to say, okay, I'm going to do a tutorial on it.
Okay. Well, if you ever want to try to do a pattern again sometime, maybe I can help you.
Okay. I have a really hard time writing it out. Being dyslexic, it poses different challenges, different gifts. And sometimes it's like, this is so obvious. Da, da, da. And then there's other times it's like, you write a whole book for something that only needed 3 words. And
Right.
it makes it difficult to sit down and go, don't do that. Do this and repeat that.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it can be. And I was just thinking maybe with the tech editor classes and stuff I have behind me, maybe I could help out. I know
Maybe.
it's easier for me to tech edit, than to actually try to sit down and do it, but
Do
who
it.
knows? Maybe if
Huh,
we put our brains together, we could
that would be cool.
come out with
That would be really cool.
it. If nothing else, if you ever get it on paper, I can tech edit it for you.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thanks, was much fun. Thanks, AJ and Spring. You guys are welcome.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
hope to see you guys again real soon. And thank you very much, Spring.
Night, Emily.
I hope to have you on again sometime. This was
Sure.
very fun. And as
Sure.
I told you, it's been kind of rough around here lately, so I needed a really good night. So thank you very
Well, thank you
much.
for having me. I enjoyed coming up and hanging out with JJ. Always.
I hope to see you in the room again sometime soon. And for
Hopefully.
anybody who would like to join in, like I was saying earlier, we have talks where we video chat, and
Hmm.
it's AJ's Personal Touch. It's the group on Facebook. I do have a page and a group. Um, but come on in, join the group, and you can come in on the chats. We just sit and
Hmm.
work. Sometimes I work on stitch markers, sometimes I'm crocheting, and you
Right.
know, everybody does whatever craft they're working on. So
Yep. Sometimes it goes silent because we're all counting. And other times we're all fighting to get our words in.
yeah, yeah, you never know. And every night, there's never a night that's the same as the last, the one before. So
Exactly. Exactly.
anyway, good night, everybody, and see you soon. Thank you again for coming. Remember, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're handsome, and you matter. And don't let anybody ever tell you that you don't. And we'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.